Hello, BookTube.
BookTube.
We're back, and we don't have a used book haul today. We did not go used book shopping today. Instead, we went to the world-famous Walden Pond.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
It was a beautiful, beautiful day. There was a lunatic in a wetsuit swimming in the lake, but otherwise, it was a lovely day. Just a lovely outing. And then we drove through the picture-perfect town of Concord. And all the natives were looking at us like, you're not going to buy a house or anything, are you? We don't, you're not our kind. And then we got back to the bean. But we do have a book haul. It's not used books. It's mail. Mail has been piling up here. So I thought we'd go through those. And you can just chip in. You can just chime in when you
see
want.
How much I have to say.
The one thing I got is the Martha's Vineyard Gazette. This is a newspaper off the coast of, from the island of Martha's Vineyard off the coast of Massachusetts, which is on the David List bucket list.
It is, yes. We've done Cape Cod, did Walden Pond this time, and I'd like to go there too. Next year, maybe.
I review books for the Vineyard Gazette, and I don't know if I'm in this one. I think the one I did was too late. Yeah, so it'll be next time that I'll be in this one. It's the off season, so we don't. There aren't a whole lot of books. Like I've mentioned many times before, my editor at that paper chooses a local angle. So vineyard authors or books about the vineyard, and those don't happen with the regularity that would allow me to be in every issue. And then the other periodical, some of you will know this. A lot of you are new to the channel. This is a once a month full color newspaper in northern Georgia. Smoke Signals, Big Canoe News. And if you're new to the channel and you know that I'm in Boston, you might be wondering why I would, in the world, get a once-a-month color newspaper. But there's a reason. There's a very good reason. And this time is extra special. Because you see here, the Big Canoe News has an arts section. Arts and entertainment, where local bands, that sort of thing. But they also have a book section. It's not in arts and entertainment. It's part of the news front of the paper. And it's dedicated to books, which is one of the only newspaper sections in the country that is still that way. And I am the editor of that section. And this time around, in addition to, I run a column every month of some of that month's coming new releases. There are freelance book reviewers getting their work in there. I have another columnist who writes about murder mysteries. But this time around, yes, look at that. This time around, my editor wanted, in addition to my coming attractions column, she wanted a books-related column, just reflections on books. She was actually very complimentary about liking the way I write about books. So I did. I wrote a column, and in the column a couple of times I mentioned my little dog. And so for the first time, my dog Frida is in the paper. Look at that. That's wonderful. I will save that. So in other words, we have two separate, different approaches to this. Both are small town papers. But my approach whenever I've had this job, has been, I never thought I'd have this job again. I'm amazed that I have this job again and that the paper looks so good. I mean, this section looks just wonderful. The job that the setup people do is just terrific. Look at that. I worked at a lot bigger papers that didn't have graphics like that. But I don't think there's any such thing as a local reader. So my book section is exactly like, it's a much, much, much smaller version of what you would see in the Washington Post or the Wall Street Journal. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's better even than the Star Tribune in Minneapolis.
The look of the paper, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big...
And I think there's more book coverage in yours than...
Well, I only get to go once a month. I wish I could do more than that. I keep meaning to pester my editor-in-chief about online content, online book reviews. But if that looks attractive to you and you're willing to, I mean, let's be honest here, you're not going to need any of the rest of the paper. Probably not going to read any of the rest of it, just the art section and the news section. But if you want a dedicated book section where you know the editor, you can always subscribe to Big Canoe News. And if you do, and that's the reason you are doing it, make sure to let somebody know that. Make sure to drop my name. I'm in pretty tight with the Big Canoe community, but that always helps. That always helps. And now my assistant is going to hand me packages. let's see here. This is first one. What do we need? What do I need? Well, not finished copies for November would be good. This is not that, though. Okay. This comes out. I bet a lot of these will be coming out next year. I don't know that we'll get many 2024 things. I wish. There are a couple that I want. This is Dream State. This comes out in March by Eric Puckner. Don't know anything about this. Did not request it or anything like that. What? Cece is in love. She has arrived early at her future in-laws' lake house in Salish, Montana, to finish planning her wedding to Charlie, a young doctor with a brilliant life ahead of him. I guess we know where that's going, don't we? Charlie has asked Garrett, his best friend from college, to officiate the ceremony, though Cece can't imagine anyone more ill-suited for the task, an airport baggage handler haunted by a tragedy from his and Charlie's shared past. But as she spends time with Garrett, his gruff mask slips. And her long-held expectations for her life with Charlie begin to crumble. And why does Garrett, after meeting Cece, begin to feel, well, human again? So, a novel coming out in the early spring. I can just go on the pile. I don't even need to worry about it. Let's see. This next one is... All right, another advance copy. Oh, God help us. Okay. All right, well... some go astray. Maybe I can find someone to write about this. This comes out in January, and this is Agnes Callard writing Open Socrates, The Case for a Philosophical Life. Great. And it's got a blurb from Judith Butler. Okay. All right. Well, we're just where we want to be then, aren't we? Let's see here. The ancient Greek philosopher Socrates, perhaps the single most important figure in Western culture.
Okay.
Perhaps is doing a lot of work there.
No.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Good start.
Perhaps the single most important figure in Western culture, that is Darwin. Okay. But anyway, not some guy that didn't exist. Is hidden in plain view. If he claims that, quote, the unexamined life is not worth living has ceased to shock us, that is not because we know how to live examined ones. We speak of, quote, the Socratic method, in ignorance of just how much that method demands of us. In this book, the acclaimed philosopher Agnes Callard takes us deeper into Socrates' thought than any modern writer has. Okay. All right. So the blurb writer for this book was on an extremely high dose of mescaline. As she shows, Socrates noticed that the most important questions started off closed before a person has even a chance to ponder how they should live. Their bodily desires or the forces of social conformity have already answered on their behalf. Is it even possible to ask a question that you think you have already answered? The questionness of questions. Okay, all right. Well, it comes out in January. If any of you dude bros want to review it, I'd be happy to send it to you. Take my advice, judging from that cover copy. Well, going off that cover copy, take my advice. Don't ever ponder. Don't ever use the word, and don't ever do the activity, and you'll be fine.
All right, so what's next? Nietzsche and the meaning.
I know. It'll be. That was a definite. Oh no, I don't have scissors by me. Oh no.
Here, do this one, and I'll work on that.
Okay. All right, what is this next one? From the folks at the Mysterious Press. Great. This comes out on October 22nd. Okay, great. So this is going to be a paperback original? Is that what this is? Well, certainly looks like it. This is by A.F. Carter, and it is called Johnny Boy. The Edgar Award-nominated Delia Mariola series. Do any of you know this series? I don't think I know this series. A serial killer stalks the streets of a depressed Rust Belt town on the cusp of revitalization. Johnny Boy is a killer. He lives for the thrill of the hunt, the stalking of human prey. Fittingly, he works as a hitman, but always finds time for extracurricular activity on the side. Yes, the author engages in 2 split infinitives and a tautology. Extracurricular activity is on the side. When a new assignment sends him to Baxter, a depressed Rust Belt town experiencing a chaotic upheaval at the dawn of a new economic beginning, Johnny Boy plans to keep things professional. But when he realizes that the streets are awash with drug activity, small-time mobsters, and loads of transitory laborers in town to construct a new car plant, he sees an opportunity to have a little fun while he's there. So the gimmick here is a hitman serial killer. And it comes out at the end of October. Did you succeed? You did.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. You've got a permanent gig here. Oh, great. Okay, this is from one of you. This is not breaking rule number 1. Rule number 1 on this channel is don't send me a book. Don't do it. Don't do it whimsically. Don't do it quixotically. Don't do it at all. I know what I want. If you want to send me a book, there are 2 ways to do it. One is to call the Brattle Bookshop here in Boston and swear out some store credit. Just say, I want to give Steve some credit. You won't even have to identify me by name. Just that, Steve. Or you can let me know ahead of time what the book is. And if I want it, I will squeal like a pig in a barnyard. And one of you got a copy of this by mistake, and this is the this is the UK trade paperback of a book that we've already seen on this channel. This is Eckhart Fromm's book, Assyria. And we saw that the US edition looks different than this. So I would have wanted this anyway. But I really like the book. I think I sent Assyria away to one of you. I sent the galley copy and the big, heavy Finnish copy. I wouldn't have wanted that Finnish copy, but this is perfect. So if you're watching, thank you very much for that. That is wonderful. And that's the way to do it. The only reason people don't like that second version is because I might say no. I will almost certainly say no. I'll be nice about it. I'll say no need to bother, but what have we here? That's nice, whatever it is. Okay. David Chudwin Moe, The Magical Decade. A personal memoir and popular history of 1965 to 1975.
Odd.
Good Lord. And this is really nice. It's nice and solid. It's got French flaps. I wonder if this... it's got blurbs. Maybe it's not new? No, it's new. Okay. Well, great. Mass market, or trade paperback history. Fantastic. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay, I don't know what this is at all. Okay, well, we'll learn about it together. This book is free and yours to keep. Notes from the Appalachian Prison Book Project. The sticker on there and the paper clip on there, very well designed. What is this? This book presents an engrossing collection of letters and artwork by people in prison that highlights the crucial work done by the Appalachian Prison Book Project, a nonprofit that provides books to incarcerated people in West Virginia, Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Maryland. Through the words of the people directly impacted by the criminal punishment system, the collection provides uncommon insight into reading practices in everyday life in prisons and jails, while being an inspiration for prison book projects, prison reform, and abolition. In this case, of course, the term means the abolition of the carceral state, not the abolition of slavery. We'll get there someday. Ta-Nehisi Coates will be out of a job as soon as slavery is abolished. Eventually, he will be out of a job. Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's the Appalachian Prison Book Project. I would bet that if you got in touch with them through their website and offered to pay or send some books, I bet they have people there who would be very grateful for that. Feel free to get in touch with them. Now they call it the criminal punishment system.
Yeah, state violence.
That's wonderful, because it obviously America does have an incarceration problem. It's freakishly out of control, and books are rarer than you would think. So these people do good work. They do the Lord's work. That's wonderful. So the Appalachian Prison Book Project, you should get in touch with them. I don't know exactly how reviewable this is. You know, with books like this where they are doing great work and they've put out a book, I mean, that's great. That's absolutely great. But I'm not a cheerleader of books. I'm going to look for the weaknesses as well as the strengths. And what if I find weaknesses in a book that you're not supposed to bash? So
polite silence, I guess.
Yeah. But I'm telling it to you, so you know what this is. No date on this, but oh wait, maybe there is a date on this. This is going to be a paperback, December. No specific date, but this comes out in December. And if any of you have stories about this book, prison book project, I'd love to hear about it. Or does your neighborhood have one of its own? Let's see. Great. This book, the mail haul has just been piling up because it seemed obscene to be opening book packages when we were getting 500 pounds of books. Oh.
My God. I mean, something I find a little more interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we got an advance copy of this. It doesn't have a sheet in it at all, but this is Bettina Anton. This is her book, Hiding Mangle. How a Nazi Network Harbored the Angel of Death. And this now has blurbs on it. 1985, 6-year-old Bettina Anton watched Brazilian authorities apprehend her kindergarten teacher for allegedly using false documents to bury in secret the remains of Joseph Mengele, known worldwide for cruel human experiments and for sending thousands of to the Auschwitz gas chambers. Decades later, as an experienced journalist disturbed by the mystery surrounding the departure of the Austrian expat Lieselotte Bussert, Anton set out to find her and see if the rumors were true. She could not imagine how deeply into Mengele's life on the run her investigation would take her. Okay, fantastic. So a finished copy of Hiding Mangle. Let's see what this next one is. I'm making a mess here, but... Oh, from Basic Books. Great. So this is next year? Yeah, this is March. This is Close to Home, The Wonders of Nature Just Outside Your Door. I think I requested this because that's right up my line of country. I love this sort of thing. In Los Angeles, scientists have discovered dozens of new fly species in urban backyards, gardens, and parks. In the suburbs of Sydney, wild parrots have learned how to open garbage bins, creating their own unique subculture. I wonder if they can handle roundabouts.
Oh my God. Better than people in Boston, I'm sure. Yeah.
David's famously even temper was strained to the breaking point at some points today. In the Swiss canton of Aargau, citizens have teamed up to build 856 ponds in order to repopulate 12 different species of frogs, toads, and newts. And in a small town outside Fairbanks, Alaska, one backyard soil sample has produced a potential treatment for breast cancer. Yeah, I wish you'd left that last one off. But these things don't deserve wonder, study, and preservation just for what they can do for us. Though rarely featured in nature documentaries or wildlife magazines, the average backyard or neighborhood park can yield new discoveries. In this book, the author helps to retrain our eyes to uncover the hidden wonders of nature all around us. Fantastic. Okay, so next year, a lot of these things are just, they're low key for me because I'm not thinking about next year. But we've had, the Mangle book is out this year, I think. Didn't have a sheet on it, but the advanced copy is up there somewhere.
Yeah, it's 24. So.
All right, let's see what this next one is. Okay. Well, let's see. This is The Bright Freight of Memory by Greg Fields. Rather attractive trade paperback there. Okay, the sheet that's in there is just my way of saying hello. Let's see here. Matthew Cooney and Donald Mannion shared their time as boys in a rundown neighborhood without fathers, without comfort, without a sense of tomorrow, then went to their separate ways, one to chase the trappings of maturity, the other to the streets. Their days shrouded in boredom, their nights filled with the thrill of the chase, each sought his place and his purpose. Within their struggles are the challenges of escaping, of outrunning the roll of the dice that place them where they are, and in the end, of defining what it means to be alive. Okay, so a novel with blurbs by people I don't know.
I like that cover. Yeah.
Who is Greg Fields when he's at home? The author of Through the Waters and the Wild, which won a prize for independent indie fiction. He's always won a few awards for indie fiction. His first novel, Ark of the Comet, was published in 2017. Did we ever see that on this channel? I'm not remembering that. He's also the co-author with Maya Ajmera of The Invisible Children, Reimagining International Development from the Grassroots. Okay.
That sounds like nonfiction.
Yeah, so this is a novel. No idea of the date. Let's see. It keeps going on and on here. This next one. Oh. Okay. All right. Good. This is November, and it's not a hardcover, but it is a finished copy. It's from the folks at Princeton University Press, and this is the Beekeepers Guide: Building Skills and Knowledge. Meredith May, Claire Jones, Anne Robery, and Margaret Murden are the authors. Beekeeping is a popular pastime that more and more people are taking up for fun or even modest profit. Today, you will find hives not only in large fields or rural spaces, but also in city gardens and on rooftops, to the benefit of both bee and beekeeper. If you're at the early or middle stages of your beekeeping journey and need a go-to guide on establishing and maintaining your hives, this is the perfect companion. So it's tough. It's designed to be used. And it's got all kinds of breakdowns of information, bullet points, pictures of all kinds to help you along. Okay, so I confess I smiled when I saw this in Princeton's catalog, but not because of beekeeping. It's because of Me Sainted Ma, who hated bees. An absolute horror and hatred of them. So when she was alive, I used to get bee books if I could find one used and just send them to her. Oh, what is this? Oh, big, whatever it is. Ooh, very good. Folks at Basic Books, I swear, they just keep going. They just keep up with the hits. So this comes out in February, and this is Summer of Fire and Blood, The German Peasants' War by Lindell Roper, whose name will be known to some of you for writing a book about Martin Luther. Let's see here. The German Peasants' War, which at its height involved well over 300,000 people, was the largest popular uprising in Western Europe before the French Revolution. For a period of 3 months in 1525, it spread across central and southern Germany and into Switzerland, Austria, and Italy. Peasants torched and plundered monasteries, convents, and castles, and lived a life of brotherhood together. Their impetus and the events that unfolded were intricately connected with the Protestant Reformation, which would ultimately transform from a radical popular movement to a conservative force as Martin Luther sided with authorities against the peasants. And Lindell Roper is the Regis Professor of History at Oxford, and her previous books include Martin Luther and the Witch Craze. It's the Martin Luther book that I'm thinking of. And here she's decided to do the broader canvas, which is great. That's fantastic.
That sounds really good.
Not anything I'm going to deal with now, but okay. All right, we've gone from beekeeping to keeping something else here. What on earth is all this? Well, you're blank on the back, so I can use you. I don't need the rest of this though. Date November. Okay, so this is a November finished copy with a cover blurb by Elizabeth Colbert, The Sixth Extinction, so a lot of you will know that. This is by Lauren Oakes, and it is called Treekeepers, The Race for a Forested Future. Lovely, lovely cover. From weather reports touching record-breaking temperatures to the news coverage of the ever more frequent extreme weather events, the media serves as a constant reminder of the increasingly dire climate crisis. Despite the negativity and sense of doom and gloom surrounding climate change, outlets across the political spectrum have reported the same potential solution: planting trees. Common headlines include planting 1 trillion trees could be mind-blowing, could be the most effective solution to climate change, or tree planting has mind-blowing potential. For many, planting a tree has become a catch-all way to do something good for the planet. Yet the rise of the Let's Plant movement, it's actually a thing, I guess I'll have to look that up, also sparks inevitable opposition. those who assert that reforestation efforts across the world won't work. Important questions inherently arise from this controversy, such as who exactly is planting all these trees and where. Okay, so this is environmental science, and it's up soon. It goes on the November shelf. I'm going to flesh out that November shelf quite a bit. Uh-oh, this looks like it's from one of you. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, all right. Okay, well, maybe not. This, whether it's from one of you or it's from a publisher, when you're putting a sheet of information in the thing, fold it and put it in the book. Don't slide it into the envelope with the book, or this will happen. That will happen every single time, without any exceptions at all. So let's see. The book is by Scott Spires, and it's called Social Distancing, a novel. It's the author's second novel, published by Alternative Book Press. Oh, submitting it for review. Anyone remember those bumper stickers that said "Escape to Wisconsin"? God help us. That's exactly what the book's hero, a disillusioned middle-aged academic, does. Fleeing the big city, he resettles in a small town on Lake Michigan coast to restart his life and ride out whatever apocalypse is on the horizon. A shocking event reveals that his idyllic town is not such a safe haven after all. Okay, great. So a novel with a destroyed pup sheet. Here, I will demonstrate. So you just fold it like that, and you put it in the book. That way, the person who is tearing open the envelope, whether it's me in my home or at a newspaper, will not destroy what you mean to read. Is this from one of you as well? Why isn't this package pre-opened?
Here, why don't you do this and I'll get that.
Oh, it's a box. Oh, right, but this box I don't think is from a publisher. I think this is from one of you. Oh, this ain't much better.
You're going to be so spoiled when I'm gone.
Yes, it is. I am going to be. He's mighty handy.
This one's done.
It's simply impossible. All right, so what is this first one? Oh, that's a lovely thing. It's okay. All right. Settle down there, Seymour. Okay, it's a lovely thing with an entire Douay Bible attached to it. We'll just use the first page here for what this is. This is another novel. This is The Avian Hourglass by Lindsay Drager. And it came out in mid-August. This is late getting to me. This is at once an ode to birds, an elegy to space, and a journey into the most haunted and uncanny corners of the human mind. Showcasing the author's signature brilliance in a stunning surrealistic novel for fans of Jessie Bell, Helen Oyeyemi, Yoko Ogawa, and Shirley Jackson. And the description goes, the birds have disappeared. The stars are no longer visible. The crisis, with a capital C, is growing worse. In a town as isolated as a snow globe, a woman who dreams of becoming a radio astronomer struggles to raise the triplets she gave birth to as a gestational surrogate whose parents were killed in a car accident. Surrounded by characters who wear rings, memorize etymologies, and build gigantic bird nests, and bound to this town in which young adults must decide between two binary worldviews, either yes or no, the woman is haunted by the old fable of the girl in glass vessel, a cautionary tale about prying back the facade of one's world. Okay. All right. Well, this is it's a novel. It's a little late getting to me, so I might do it tonight. And then the final
this
thing.
Didn't come with a note or anything. I don't know if you read
yes. One of you found a copy of this and did rule number 1 the right way. You contacted me and asked me if I wanted it. And I said yes, but I said no hurry either. Don't worry about hurrying. I have plenty of books. But this is the Library of America volume of Flannery O'Connor. which is great, and I don't have it. If it was truly spare, I wanted it. Definitely, I would have grabbed this at a used bookstore. This has everything, essays and letters as well. So it has Wise Blood, A Good Man Is Hard to Find, The Violent by Art Away, and then Everything That Rises Must Converge, and I don't know if All of the Habit of Being will be in here. I don't know if that's what the occasional prose is. But that's great. I love this volume. I would have grabbed this at the Brattle if I saw it. So thank you again. Thank you. This mail haul has had quite a bit of gifts, which is really nice. So there you go. We have the Library of America, Flannery O'Connor. We have the Avian Hourglass, weird speculative fiction, sounds like. Then Social Distancing, a novel. We have the Treekeepers, Plant a Tree, the plant movement. We have Summer of Fire and Blood, the German Peasants' War, the first history of the German Peasants' War in English in America in probably 50 years. The Beekeepers Guide, everything you need to know to start your own hives. The Bright Freight of Memory, a novel about two friends who go different paths. Close to Home, a book about your backyard wildlife. I would love to hear about your backyard wildlife. This book is free and yours to keep, about the Appalachian Prison Book Project and the good work that they do. We have The Magical Decade, an original trade paperback of 65 to 75. We have Assyria in the UK trade paperback, a gift from one of you, a very spot-on gift. We have Johnny Boy, serial killer who is also a hitman. We have Open Socrates, all about Socrates, I guess. We're one book away, and Dream State.
Well, we were 2 books away. And
oh, right, you had yes, yeah. Once you got your hands on Mangle, it was all over. so finding Mangle as well.
Really something for everyone here. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's a lot for everybody.
I was mostly afraid that you'd open economics, and I wouldn't be here, which has happened. I think it was last spring. I was sitting in the chair, and you opened that Brad DeLong book.
You should all go to Open Letters Review and read David's review of the new translation of Volume 1 of Marx's Capital. It's a really good piece. But anyway, there we go. We made a mess, but now it's time to put these books away and eat.
Yes.
I don't know what we'll do tomorrow. We'll think of something. I'll see you then, Book 2.
Thanks, Book 2.